We are back at it with a brand new DnX show with the boy Doc and myself, aka Josh. And yeah, we have a few different talking points to talk about today. I'm going to show them up on the screen, kind of similar to what we did last week. But the first thing that we got to talk about is Doc is in Mad Skills Motocross. Is that right? Is that the right thing? Is that the right
Mad
name?
Skills Motocross 3.
Motocross 3.
Mobile.
That's freaking awesome. I'll show you guys an image on the screen here of what Doc sent me. It's his logo on, I'm assuming one of the tracks, because aren't there like multiple tracks in the game?
No, it's like they have a billboard with a rotation of logos, and I'm just in the rotation now.
Bro, that's actually so sick, bro.
Yeah, it was cool. They DM'd me and were like, hey, will you help promote this and we'll put your logo in the game? And I was like, yes, absolutely. Like I have so many hours in Mad Skills. What a cool thing. So I just did a YouTube mid-roll, sent it to them. They were like, that's awesome. And then like the next day they sent me the screenshots of my logo in the game. It's pretty cool.
That is so sick, bro. I remember like growing up, I guess not necessarily growing up, but like I would say like college. So almost 10 years ago, I guess. But I'd be playing that game nonstop. Legit nonstop. I'd be playing it on my phone. I probably put a lot of hours in that game.
When I told my wife, she was like, is that the Mad Skills that you were playing when we just got married 10 years ago? And I was like, yes, but it's still going. And you can scrub now, and there's now Arenacross. So
yeah, it's actually so sick. The game is so sick. I don't really, to be fair though, I don't really play too much games on my phone. I don't play too many games on my phones anymore. Like, I don't know about you, but yeah, like my phone is more of just posting stuff instead of actually like using it for games.
Dude, ever since content creator has been like life, I don't play other video games. I don't use my phone for anything other than posting and then texting my friends back, which is usually like a giant list because my phone sits over here all day and I'm working here. And so there's 15 text messages there. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
you have a lot of friends because I don't get 15 text messages. So.
Well, it's not a lot of friends, more like a lot of messages I don't respond to. And then I'm like, there's 20 messages. I guess
I feel that.
Back.
But yeah, I don't use anything. But that's actually so sick that you got, I would say collab, I would most likely assume. I don't know how long it's going to go for, but that's actually so sick, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any details about how long. I don't know if it's in there for like the life of Mad Skills or what. But yeah, I mean, they reached out and I figured it was a easy. Heck yeah, like why not? You know, I mean,
I want to see like in the future how many more opportunities that yourself will get or anybody else in the MX bikes genre will get in like those type of opportunities. Does that kind of make sense? So. Like, I wonder what other games that will have our name or like logos on, or not even games in general. Just say like what we're doing with pro riders, right? Sponsoring some pro riders, maybe sponsoring some events. Maybe RD goes and sponsors Arenacross, you know, maybe for like a weekend or something like that. So I want to see where 2025 takes us in that aspect. Doc's already like smirking. He knows something already, man.
No, it's getting there. You know, I mean, 2 years ago, this whole MX bike scene was nothing, right? It was just a couple of us making YouTube videos, and there was really nobody paying attention to it whatsoever. And there is definitely eyes on the scene now, and so. Yeah, I think you play the right cards, you pitch to the right people. There's a lot of opportunity there.
And I think that's so sick where we have that opportunity now. Like you mentioning, like 2 years ago, it was just a couple guys playing a game that they love, and now it's an opportunity to be as like a full-time gig almost, right? I know a couple of them already are, but it has opportunity.
I think there's still like a little bit of stigma on that I see on MX bikes or just like the motocross gaming, because nobody's really been able to do it at a high level with a lot of views. It's still really people look at it like it's really not a valuable source. But I mean, if you look at Troy's numbers or my numbers or your numbers or Lynn's numbers, dude, they're insane. Like actually insane. You know, millions and millions and millions and millions of views a month. All of us are doing it, and people are finally starting to realize, like, oh wow, so there's legitimate creators here, you know. And I mean, even look at Lynn's blows my mind. Every time that dude streams, he's got like 4, 5, 6, 700 viewers every single time.
Lens is crazy.
And like, I don't know if he was doing that in Apex, right, or Fortnite, the dude would have, you know, Elgato's partnerships and, you know, all the Corsair and all this stuff. But those numbers are unreal. And, you know, I'm not there, and I don't think, I mean, Troy is, but those guys, yeah, they have a lot of potential there. They just
I
need to.
really believe that there's a lot of opportunities in getting different types of sponsorships within this space, right? Like you're mentioning Elgato, right? I think Elgato is a perfect example of getting like a perfect example of a sponsorship that those big creators should get, right? So like Troy should have an Elgato sponsorship or something similar to that, right? Lynn should have one as well, like yourself. I feel like
deals, man.
controller deals too, like keyboard and mouse deals, something, right? I feel we haven't even touched that aspect of this genre yet. And I feel like that's coming very, very soon because of the popularity growth that it's on right now. Not necessarily just for like bikes, but also for MTG down the road too, right? So I think in the future, there's going to be a lot of opportunities with different types of companies that I think will help grow this little niche of ours.
It's because, I mean, I think it's almost because none of us really took it seriously or took ourselves seriously, right? Like, I don't know about you, but like, I mean, sure, I've been making money on YouTube, but it was always like, I'm just playing MX bikes, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's how everyone else looked at it too, is like, they're just playing MX bikes. But it's time now, and I can clearly see a shift, and I certainly have a shift in the way I'm approaching things of like, no, there's a lot of value here, and it's time to, you know, act on some of that value and work with some people.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I feel like what we're I can't even speak. What me and you are doing with reaching out and having the connections with like say the IRL guys, like AP. I know that for example, you and Carter PCs, right? No,
Alexander PCs.
Alexander PCs. My bad. You and Alexander PCs just did a collab with AP. So
Today.
that's freaking insane, right? We have connections with Bogle, Kalana, Kevin Moran's, you know, like all these different types of pros, and they're always like, "Yo, let's like, what game is that?" Or I want to play MX bikes, right? So I think getting those connections will only open doors down the road, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's in bikes, whether that's IRL, anything. So I think you're right that we didn't take ourselves serious in the past.
Yeah.
And you always harp on this brand. And I feel like it's finally happening that our brands are getting recognition in the spaces that we want to grow in. So I think it's going to be an insane 2025.
Yeah. I was just talking to, I don't know. I mean, I'm missing a piece, right? At least I can only speak for myself, but like there's something that I'm missing. I feel like I have built brand for like, what, 4 years now of that RD logo is everywhere. It's everywhere and everybody knows what it looks like. They know what it means. It's everywhere. But like, we need some checks. You know what I mean? Like we need to start signing some deals, you know, like we've built the name. And so now the next evolution is really, you know, creating the partnerships with brands and making branded content. Honestly, I'm really excited for that. And that's part of why I would, nobody really knows this, but I started making tracks was because then I can offer that as a like, hey, Corsair, I know that you guys are releasing this new thing. I'll do a track. Let's model this giant whatever it is, put it in the center of the track with the giant Corsair thing. Here's all my analytics on my previous tracks. Boom, you know? And so I don't know. I guess a little tangent to say like, you know, trying to find more ways to do branded content and trying to do some branded content now without the sponsorships to show like what is possible in this scene. I think that's another big thing is people look at MX bikes like, you know, Corsair, just keep saying them, and okay, well, we have headsets and stuff. How are we going to benefit from that? Sure, they get a lot of views, but personally, I've been trying to take some smaller sponsorships or just things of people like, hey, can you help promote this? And then making content more as a portfolio than actually benefiting from the content itself.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that works, but I don't know.
I second that, right? Because like, say for example, the IRL stuff that I'm doing with the pro guys, even Dayton, right? Shout out to the boy Dayton. He's racing at Minios right now, and he's killing it over there. But I personally am not necessarily getting anything back, right? The only thing I'm getting back is exposure. And for me right now, I think that's great. I think that's great for my brand because Dayton has a huge following. All the pro guys have a huge following. So getting that exposure in my name, more people are now eventually like going to reach out. I've already had a couple of people reach out like, hey, want to use this clip of yours? Hey, we want to connect and do some content with you, right? So I think now is taking the right direction with our brand and maybe getting a sponsorship with Corsair would be like, that's like the next step, right? So I think exposure, like building what you're building and exposing like the RD logo, exhibit logo is just going to help so much in 2025 and in the future.
I think it's just like the thing I've been focusing on is building.
Uh-oh, I lost you. Uh-oh, his PC died. Okay, he's not frozen anymore. All right, you can.
Apparently, I need an internet, sponsorship because everything just turned off. Anyway, just dead. And what I was saying is trying to focus on solidifying my brand to the public or to other brands is really important. So the people that I associate myself with, maybe I don't have the credibility yet, but I'm really looking to find people with credibility to, hey, do you want to do something that they believe in me, but that it'll show the world that I have some credibility, if that makes sense. And so it's a lot of stepping stones, but I don't know. One day, one of these years, we'll get some sick contract. 1 year. You know?
Hey, I feel 2025. It's already. I mean, what are you talking about? You did the negotiations with the team, obviously, for MTG and Arenacross, which let's dive into that a little bit, right? And the Arenacross previews are officially out now, at least for round 1, and the track is officially out right now.
And
so,
sick.
I mean, to be fair, I watched the video, and the track looks great. It looks like it's, I would say, on a larger scale, so it works well with bikes. I haven't played it yet, which I will play it because, there's an awesome rhythm section there that where you can do some crazy things with. So I'm not going to wheel tap quad, though. I'm going to go quad, all right?
I might have to whip out your cheater bike, you know? Quad. You're going to have to start off the side of the track?
Hey, don't judge hey, try the free ride bikes and you'll probably be able to get it first try. Okay.
I might have to pull out the free ride bikes and quad that.
The negotiations with Arenacross, now you got the previews. Now you got like the preview on the Arenacross, like actual socials now. It's all out. You'll be doing that for every round. Talk about that a little bit. Like, talk about it a little bit more now because it's officially here.
Well, it was mostly Checkers that did that deal because Checkers has a good relationship with them. So as much as I would like to take, credit for that one, that's pretty much all Check. But yeah, Arenacross is here and we have the tracks and they are very fun. They're made by Kells. They're in MX bikes and they are as flowy as they look. Honestly, without purposely talking about this, Checkers and I both got into a call last night to talk marketing or whatever, and he's like, man, we should really make sure that we're talking about how fun and flowy the tracks were. And I had already recorded my video, and I was like, what's funny about that is in my video, I said, well, I did about 100 laps, not because I needed to, but because I wanted to when I was recording the preview for Arenacross. I did about 100 laps just to make sure it was as flowy as possible. But it was super fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. I mean, the laps are short, so it wasn't like that insane. But those tracks are really built well, and because it's Arenacross, man, you can like just end up hot lapping, and you're chasing tenths because it's only a 40-second lap time, and this is one of the bigger tracks on the circuit too. So I don't know, yeah, they're really really fun. Kels
Yeah,
did
I
a really
mean,
good job.
yeah, I just like I watched the preview video, I watched your video, I watched your TikTok, and the one thing that I got from the scaling looks amazing. Like it really looks perfect for the game and trying to adjust it for what Arenacross does, because everybody know Arenacross is super freaking tiny, right? Super compacted. The lanes are pretty small, or on the smaller size, right? But the way that Kels create, I didn't even know Kels was creating it, to be honest. The way that Kels was doing it, and Kels is phenomenal at this, is making the track fun, flowy, and perfect scaling. So
with the scaling, I'll just say those are good tracks to practice for Supercross.
You guys heard, that's breaking news. You heard it here first. Okay. Practice this Arenacross 40-second lap.
They're pretty.
And, but no,
yeah,
like,
next week is a horseshoe track too. So it's like a traditional 18-second Arenacross track. And I haven't ridden it yet, but Checker said he thinks it's even more fun than round one. And round one it's fun because it's easy, right? Like there's nothing crazy where you have to come out of a corner and try your whole heart to get in triple in.
Yeah.
But it works. And then, but there's some big lines like that wheel tap line I was doing, or even just tripling that is difficult, but it's not so difficult where you're just like kind of
getting
like
frustrated with it.
Yeah. Like trying to quad in on SMX round 2, which we'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, the Arenacross tracks are really cool and a cool partnership.
Yeah, I think the partnership is awesome. I'm so excited to see the growth of that partnership. Honestly, I really believe over the next few years, man, that thing is going to go crazy. I think Arenacross is going to gain some more popularity. If I'm not mistaken, there's a series, right? Like happening in bikes for Arenacross, right?
There will be a hot lap series soon on the Arenacross stuff. It's a hot lap series. There's more details. I mean, soon as in the next couple days, we'll have an announcement on that from the 27th. So by the end of this month, we'll have a big announcement on that. And there's real life prizes, a lot of cool stuff with that. And the tracks are built to hot lap. I mean, they're fun to hot lap, and it's cool because it's kind of sucks for the people that are, say top 100, because you feel like you can hit first place because the times are really close.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh dude, I'm only 0.6 off. Well, 0.6 on that track is a lifetime, you know what I mean? But it makes it fun. It makes you feel like you can do it. Where like an outdoor track, if I'm 6 seconds off a Finn, I'm
you're
up.
Yeah, you're chalked.
I'm hanging the virtual T cranes up. You know what I mean? We're running it in.
For prizes, I can already think of, if Checker's involved with this, you already know Race Tech's going to have some prizes for this.
There's going to be some prizes.
So he can't even discuss it because he. But anyways, so be on the lookout for the hot lap challenge. I actually think Lynn's posted a video on that, right? And I'm assuming you talked about it in your video today too. So make sure you guys go check out Doc's video that he posted today or yesterday.
Check out Lynn's, Troy, Smokesta, and then myself if you want. I kind of had us all. Oh, and Kellen was in there too. We all talked about something a little bit different. That's kind of how I approached that. But
that's perfect. Yeah, so everybody has like a different topic to talk about. That's perfect. I'll make sure the links are in the description for you guys to check out, so you guys don't have to worry about searching for them or anything like that. But I'm super excited for this collab. Right now I'm like itching to go play that track to beat your wheel tap. That's all I really want to do, and I'm gonna be posting that tomorrow.
If you're gonna do it on the cheater bikes, that's fine. I don't know. It's pretty hard, that wheel tap line.
Well, I'll take a step further. I'll go quad 5 or something like that.
Quad, dude. I don't know. It's pretty big. Like, oh, I don't know that,
bro.
Unless you start off the track, which.
I don't know how much space there is off the track though, and there's a berm in front of the lip, so that might be impossible.
If you start off the track, I'll hit it on the track, and then show you up that way. I'll just apex it
Hey,
enough and I'll quad in.
all I gotta say is they won't have a clue if I'm off the track if I edit it right. So.
Yeah, true. I actually think if you do it perfectly, you can wheel tap quad. Like you can.
You think so? I can try that if you want.
I mean, you can try. I almost did it off screen where I framed like just case right into the face. I mean,
you know what's funny about like the big lines and stuff is like for mine, take for example St. Louis DDC. So after I think it's after the over under after the start, the stand section right hand, and then it's like a quad double. You could go quad double on the free ride bikes. All right, you can. Okay. On the cheater bikes, whatever you want to call it, okay? But I got in my comment section, oh, he's crashing on purpose. Guys, it's actually hard to hit some of this, man. Like, I don't understand how people think I'm crashing on. Like, I'm actually trying. You guys don't even know how many attempts it actually takes me just to get one clean one. And they're always like, just brake tapping them. It doesn't work like that in the game. Like, it's actually much harder than people think, and people just they don't complain, but they just get upset that I'm not clearing it. I'm like, guys, it's actually hard.
There was a challenge, I forget, it's like a 435 horsepower challenge I did way back in the day, where obviously I cut the video down to 1 minute and 1 second, so I make some bread on TikTok. But I'm pretty sure the recording was like 22 or 25 minutes of just like constant, and there's been multiple challenges where I've wanted to do the challenge, but it's been so hard that I've like attempted it and then just scrap the idea for another day and then just move on and then scrap the idea for another day and then bring it back and then,
bro, you know the brand new track by Smokesa, Windy Acres? So on the free ride portion of that, there's like not necessarily, there's like doubles, I guess you'd say, right? With the dirt ramps and stuff. I was trying to go quad on the 435. I gave up. I couldn't do it. I was like, that's a scrapped idea.
You put Supermoto tires on it?
No, I just use the regular. The Supermoto might be smart. And then like, for example, Zuki's, oh God, not Candyland, but it might be
the new one.
No, not the brand new one. I haven't actually tried that one out yet, which I need to do. But the one prior to that, Deadlock. It took me over an hour to get one of the big lines that I hit. Like, I'm not even like, it took me, and I was like, guys, I'll be back in like 10 minutes, thinking it would be an hour later. All my friends are off because I was out for an hour and they're not even there anymore. Like, it actually is hard to get some of these lines, but that's a little tangent.
You do spend an hour and a half trying to get a line, and then it gets 8,000 views, and you're like,
It happens, man. It happens.
And then you do like, I post one thing, and I do it first try, and I was like, oh, that was cool, and it's like 1.5 mil or something, and you're like,
bro, I did the Deegan line at Ironman, same thing. First try, I didn't know there was an invisible wall there. Hit the wall, over 1 million. I'm like, what?
The key is to see, Troy has this figured out, where I'm curious if he voiceovers some of his things, which I do it too, but
I think everybody does sometimes.
Like he'll like, he did something where he like backflipped something and landed, and I was really listening to his voice. I'm like, I think that was a voiceover, but
I mean, hey, sometimes that could work,
You have to.
It really, it's one thing that's really good and great with Troy with his content. He doesn't show face, right? So if he doesn't show the face, nobody's going to know if it's live or not, right? And so for like myself, like I always show the webcam. So if I go and try to recreate something, you'll know instantly I'm trying to recreate something, right? Like you could just tell. That's the one thing that for like reactions, like live reactions, I don't like going and already knowing what's happening because my reaction is not going to be true, right? Like I'm like, oh yeah, I already know this happened. So that's a good point. You got to ask Troy. Troy, if you're listening, do you do voiceovers? Question mark.
I think he does. I mean, I do them too sometimes. I mean, everybody does. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, so going off our tangent there, we went on from Arenacross to big gaps. But let's talk a little bit about SMX first, since we're on bikes topics. All right. I played. You guys want?
In bikes?
Yeah, in bikes. So I did a line. I did the Deegan line from SMX one. I said that way weird. SMX one round one. I did the Deegan line. Well, technically, I went quad 5 and then got chewed out in my comment sections because I cased the crap out of it. But it's still done. All right. But I like that track. We already talked about that. And then SMX 2, you brought it up. The quad. There's no lip. I can't quad it. I gave up.
You're trying to quad in?
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, even on the cheater bikes.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible. But it's hard.
No.
It's easier on a 250.
It's impossible. On a cheater bike, I couldn't get it.
I might have to clip that and do it. You couldn't do it on a cheater bike?
I couldn't do it on a cheater. 1,000%. Because before that, I did the other lines, and I know I'm not washed like that bad yet. Okay, so I couldn't get the quad. I could not get enough pop off the lip to get the quad.
Are you cutting? The lip is like this. The far right
to the right.
So, yeah, but if you go to the left, it's.
But you don't have enough momentum to go from outside back across.
But
maybe I am washed. I don't know. Maybe I am. But yeah, talk about your SMX experience. I know it was rough for you.
Okay, easy. I was gonna say, first of all, thank you for the easy like 500K views when I say my friend said this line was impossible, and then I do it.
Go for it. I gave up on it, so
I'm actually gonna try it now. SMX was interesting. Hadn't raced in like a month, and I know people are gonna be like, Doc, it's a video game. Yeah, there's race pace in this game. It's a very real thing. I had no idea where I was in qualifying, like because there was no qualifying, so we all just loaded into a server, right? Like the top 20, and we're all spinning laps, and there's 20 people, but only 15 people like joined. I was like 13th on the lap time board, and I'm like
washed.
I'm like, bro, dude, I'm cooked, And I mean, it was bad. But then I was like 1.8 up on my lap at one point, and then I literally crashed right before the finish line, and that would have put me like 3rd. So I was like, okay, well, I have the speed, but whatever. And I thought, well, that server had E-Road, and so maybe whatever. Anyway, we get into the race, and I had been basically yapping about the Honda for like a month up until this point. So the Honda is great until it's not. Like, that's pretty much where we're at here. Okay, so the Honda's like top tier, and then it's real bad.
Real bad with E-Road, I would assume.
Real bad when there's anything. like anything, like a rut, a bump. Well, not a bump, but like it works really good on the DDC tracks because there's no ruts.
Yeah.
There's no roughness. The Honda's still my go-to. If I load into a DDC server, I'm getting on the Honda. It's insane. As soon as there's a rut and then you combine E-Road with that, dude, that bike is like a jellyfish. You hit a bump and it just like, and you can't jump into anything.
I'm clipping that.
Dude, I could not like jump into a rut. And there's like quite a few places in that track where you have to jump into a corner or something.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like what happens is as soon as that front end compresses, it tucks, but it tucks like just slow enough where you counter. But then when it untucks, it doesn't go straight. He like turns left again. Like if you're tucking right, he'll turn left.
Yeah.
So it just emphasizes your counter. Dude, I don't know how many berms I went over just going into a corner and then just like an idiot just out of the berm. I'm like, what are we doing? So I was slow, and then the Honda didn't. I mean, if I'm being honest, that probably happened 5 times across the 2 mains and maybe cost me, I don't know, 20 seconds across both mains.
That's so
whatever.
A lot.
I mean, it's a lot, yeah. But I got on the Husky that night. Like, I was so frustrated. First of all, I went a 1.5 seconds faster. I would have like almost top qualled with my time. Okay. And then I like tested it, just sent it as hard as I could into the ruts, and it doesn't wiggle. It doesn't. So I guess I'll just have to be an idiot.
You just got to go with the meta, man. The KTM Husky meta. We don't want to do that. Well, you don't want to do that. I'm not doing it, but Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I've
is the
been
way to go.
trying too. I've been trying to find, you know, a bike is really good. I just made a video on it. Is the TM.
I just saw your video clip.
It's freaking good. Like,
New meta.
it's weird. Like, the rear end is like big booty bouncy. Like, it is all over. The thing is bouncy, right? Like, it's very strange, but it do be it be bucking you around everywhere. But other than that, you know, like,
Do
you
you
gotta,
think it's
I don't know.
viable? Like actually viable?
Yeah, like the French dudes, you know, like the French guys in EU, the
Yeah.
like I don't even know who the
I
hell.
don't know anybody. I don't know anybody.
What do you talk about? There's a couple French dudes that
Yeah, yeah.
rip in bikes. You know, I'm trying to think of their names, like Laurent Dahan or something. Like those guys rip, and they've all been on the TM.
That's
And I
crazy.
joined some random server a couple days ago, and it was just like full of French fellers, and they were all on the TM, and I got absolutely dogged on.
Well,
So the
that's
chances
the
are good.
SMX experience for you. How was okay? Besides that experience with the Honda, how was the track, just in general racing? Because I know that like, say round one it was all right, but round two, specifically round two in real life, it was like kind of almost follow the leader, but it was a little bit better than round one. But how was it for bikes?
It was pretty one-lined again. Just there was a lot of chicanes, and so that ends up being like inside.
Yeah,
Um, which that's just a track layout thing, not necessarily any how they built it.
yeah,
That track was pretty small, like the scaling was small, and so I know a lot of people were frustrated about that. I thought it actually made things a lot harder. It was an easy track, right? Like there's
yeah, yeah. Nothing
other than
crazy
that
on it.
other than that one rhythm, which even that
Even that
one
rhythm
rhythm,
wasn't even that bad.
yeah, everyone was just double, tripling, which was pretty easy. Um, but because everything was scaled so small, you had to brake scrub like crazy, and
Oh,
like
okay.
the finish line, you had to really scrub, and so I felt like it made a lot of potential passing places like that. I mean, if you watch my stream back, there's a bunch of times where I was passing people on the straightaways because I would scrub lower and then get past them that way. The wall was probably one of the biggest places for passing because you really had to time it perfect. Because if you over jumped it, you would lose like 0.4.
That's right
And
after the finish, right?
it's two jumps after the finish. There's a wall into like the little roller things.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And, and if you go too slow, obviously you land on top of it and then you lose a ton of time. But if you were like me and tried to pass everybody going into the wall, you would go way too high and then flat land, and then you'd lose like 0.8,
Wow.
0.6. And anyway, I did that every lap and I probably lost 10 seconds of the race, but
I
it was
mean,
fun. It was a fun race, honestly.
I haven't been in a pub lobby in forever. So
I don't
your
suggest.
experience is my experience right now. So
Yeah, I don't suggest ever going in a pub lobby and these bikes again. I really have to be in a good mood to get into a pub lobby. I mean, I gotta have like a Red Bull in me or something, you know, like we're feeling good, had a good night's sleep, and we'll boot up a pub lobby. Other than that, testing, you know.
yeah, testing. Basically, that's all I do is just testing for clips, and then I'm off and I'm playing Call of Duty. So that's literally everything I do.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. That I mean, what place did you get overall? It wasn't like
9.
ninth. That's A. Top 10 ain't bad.
I mean, literally both of my starts were dead last. Okay,
Hey,
they red flagged both mains, which was super frustrating. They red flagged the first race after we had done an entire lap, and I was in like 6th
wait, why'd they
after the
red
first
flag
lap.
it?
I don't know.
Come
I
on.
had
Who was doing? Was it chicken round two?
no, I think it was Wes and
Wes?
Meat Pie.
Come on, Wes. Because I know chicken
I
helped with, I think, round one, I think. But
I think somebody just didn't join in, which I mean, it's fine,
nah,
whatever. Like it is
it
what
don't
it is.
matter that much. But we'll
But
take the blame on Wes.
no, not Wes. Anybody but Wes.
I'm just kidding, Wes.
Wes
Shout
is
out to the
so
boy.
nice.
Yeah, Wes to the goat. Hey, ninth place ain't that bad, bro. To be fair, you haven't really played. I would say you've been playing, but you haven't really raced
Now I've been
against
playing.
pros, like top tier pros. And I feel like the top guys, top 7 probably, haven't really got off the game. Yeah, so I mean, if you're
I've
not
showered.
Linz and you're 10th prestige already, and I mean,
He didn't even race.
That makes my point valid more.
But he stayed on Warzone, dude. Like, I didn't see a stream, and I thought something was wrong. Like Lens doesn't miss anything, And so I started messaging people. I'm like, yo, like, anyone heard from Lens? Is he good? And I think it was Soru was like, yeah, he just booted up Warzone. I was like, no way. Buddy just said,
Bro,
where are we dropping?
I actually want to play. I want to see if Lynn's would ever want to play Warzone with me and my friend. Me, you, him, maybe. I know you've been playing a little bit of COD. Yeah, I think us four playing a little Warzone would be sick. I don't know. I know. Like, for example, Lynn's, I think, don't quote me, I think you mentioned it's already 10th Prestige and like has all the camos and stuff. I want to see what his KD is for Warzone. I'm assuming it's got to be high to a degree, right? Higher.
I can't tell if Lens is just really good or if he just is a grinder, because there's like you can achieve both things, like those things both ways. I think there's a combination. Like I definitely think he's very good, but I also wonder is he just like the sweat lord of COD, and like,
or is he just a grinder?
That's what I mean. Like,
because, like, for example, my friend for COD, shout to the boy Zug here. He for the camo. Yeah, for the camos, he just grinded. He didn't care about his KD. He just grinded. But then for Warzone, he's like, I'm taking this serious. And he has like over a 3 KD right now.
Bro.
Yeah, so like I wonder if Lindsay is like the same aspect in that, right? So,
I know that Troy said him and Linz played opening night for like super long time. And that was sad. I said, well, I didn't get an invite, I checked my phone. I missed that one, or he said I didn't actually get an invite. I just joined his game. It's like, oh, okay. I must have missed my friend request then, like, sorry, I guess I got to get my sub count up. My bad, it has to be over 50K only.
Hey, if Troy and Lynn's want to do a little like quads with me and you, I mean, I'm down. So if you're watching this, anybody's watching this, let us know.
We could do it. MX Bikes content creator 2v2 gunfight thing.
I'm not trying to play no gunfight, bro.
Come on, bro. Gunfight's so fun.
It's Warzone or nothing, bro.
Okay, I'll build tracks. Nothing it is. I'll play Farming Simulator.
Bro, so many of my friends have been playing Farming Simulator. Well, not anymore. Mix was like, oh, dude, I'm so excited to play Farming Simulator. 2 days in, he already rage quit because he got tired of my other friend.
Dude, I'm locked in on Planet Coaster 2. I've been watching. I'm like addicted to YouTube videos now. I've been watching nothing but Stalker 2 and Planet Coaster 2 YouTube videos. Like either I'm watching some Chernobyl horror game or I'm watching somebody make
roller coasters,
a wave pool.
Oh, that's so random.
Dude, I'm locked in though. Like I'm invested in this one guy's thing. I've watched like 10 episodes or like an hour and a half long of this guy making a theme park, and I can't stand him, but I'm locked in now. Like, I don't know.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not locked in on anybody's stuff besides Warzone, but all right. Well, let's transition a little bit from our like Warzone coaster, whatever, Stalker 2. So a little bit of IRL stuff happened over the weekend. And we can kind of wrap this up pretty quickly. It is also Thanksgiving week, so I know we're busy a little bit. But the World Supercross happened over the weekend. I know Doc didn't watch any of it. That's right. You didn't watch any of it. All right. So unfortunately for me, I thought World Supercross was happening at 10 a.m. my time Saturday and Sunday, or maybe a little bit earlier on Sunday. I was dead wrong, all right? They started at 2 a.m. my time. I'm like, I'm not staying up for this. So I watched the replay of it back in the morning without looking at socials, did the reactions, and those did pretty good. But honestly, the racing was really good in the World Supercross. Rounds 3 specifically, if I'm not mistaken, there was a point where Tomac didn't even win, and he got third.
I didn't know that.
I did not expect that at all. He had a bad start. Dean actually pulled whole shot. Joey battled with Dean for a little bit. Kenny and then Tomac battled for a little bit. It was the best race of the weekend. Tomac won. He won 7 out of 8.
No. Who won that race?
Oh, Joey did.
Dang.
Yeah, Tomac had nothing for him. Tomac had nothing for, like, he got past Roxon, but then made mistakes in the whoops, and then Roxon got by him again. And it was really good. It was very entertaining. So I think, however, like, the track played a huge influence in that too, because it was more of like a sandy texture.
Yeah, I saw
And
that. Yeah.
my personal opinion, I liked the track how it was with like that texture. Like, it got really, really rough, made for some good racing, some good passes. And overall, I think the weekend for World Supercross was a phenomenal weekend for everybody there. And even watching it back too, I thought it was really, really fun. I do want to say this. F Vince Freeze, bro. F him. I don't like him. I've never met him. I still don't like him. He hurt the boy Dean. He literally T-boned him, and Dean tore his labrum. How unfortunate is that? Because Dean had so many awesome things coming up that he was going to do. And just, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it now. I don't know the timeline with the injury and how it's going to how he's going to recover and stuff. But it's just so stupid, bro. It's so freaking stupid. You ruin a guy's off season, taking him out, doesn't even need to do it. I made a video on it, and people got upset that I was saying he's one of the dirtiest riders in the world. I'm like, bro, he is the dirtiest rider in the world. I don't really know.
Pretty like cut and dry on that one, right?
Yeah, so I do want to say that to Dean. He doesn't watch this or anything like that, but and it's just unfortunate, man. I love watching Dean race all these other Supercross events with Joey, and it makes for us have an opportunity to watch some Supercross, because otherwise we ain't watching Supercross, right? So it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's very, very unfortunate.
Bring back Weston Pike, you know.
Facts, bro. Facts. We need him. I still remember the day where he took him out and just started punching him. I think it was at A1. I think it was at A1 or A2. But
well, that clip is like, seems like Weston's such a hothead, but if you remember the night, like that was like the third time that those guys, like third or fourth time those guys had come together in like a heat and an LCQ. And it's so funny.
Yeah, so overall, World Supercross was great. It was awesome to watch. Very unfortunate for Dean. McElrath dominated the 250 class, so shout out to the boy Shane. Dominated the 250 class. And overall, great. Overall, I would say great weekend for World Supercross. The only bad part, hold up, I forgot to mention this. Only bad part, I don't know why this happened or how this happened, but the first round on Saturday, the broadcast on FS1 showed the previous round for an hour and a half. And then it cut right into like the second race of the 450 guys or something like that. How does that happen? I have no idea.
There was a button that said live and a button that said something else, and they pushed something else.
Yeah, I guess, because I don't know what happened. I had to go to Days N and watch it from there using a VPN, because it only works in Canada. I probably shouldn't say that. I might bleep that out. But that's how I had to watch it. So that's the only way for me to watch it. And I got it to work. So that's good on my part. But yeah, that was kind of frustrating, because I'm like, I literally woke up, had my coffee, and I'm like watching the broadcast, and it was like showing clips of Australia's like skyline and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. And then get into the race. I'm like, that definitely says Canadian GP. So this is definitely not Perth. I went back to the YouTube TV, make sure I'm on like the right broadcast, and it says Perth, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? But that was the only downside. So unfortunate. But what was that?
Nothing.
All right, I'll listen to that back afterwards. But this weekend we got Australian Supercross, the final round. I think it's round 5. It's the Aus SX Open. We're not going to touch on the Deegan Jet thing again, because we already discussed that. That all came to fruition. There's already Vital posted an article about it, all the details and stuff. Go read that. But this round, let's do a little predicting. All right, Jet, Hunter, Cooper Webb are all going to be there. So for Australian Open, do you think Jet is going to dominate?
I feel like it's kind of hard, home turf kind of thing, you know. It's kind of hard to bet against him. I would love to see Coop do it again, you know, like he did at Paris. That would be sick. But
that would be.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's gonna be Jet.
I would honestly love to see Hunter kind of maybe battle with Jet a little bit. You know, he was off the pace at Paris, but maybe he gets a good start. I know there's not all the top guys there, right? It's just like kind of three of them. But I would love to see maybe Coop and Hunter. Maybe they put on a show. You know, maybe they put on a show and not go crazy dominate them. You also got to remember Joey's going to be there too. Joey's been fast too. So maybe those four put on a show and try to like battle with one another. Yeah. Make it good for the fans. Make it good for everything. But you're right. I mean, if it's a straight up race, I don't think anybody's beating Jet. Right. Yeah. So.
No, I don't think so. Nah, I expect like home turf advantage kind of a thing. You know, the vibes are high, family's there. I think Jet's gonna do Jet things.
Most likely. The track looks good too. I've been seeing it on socials. The track looks pretty big. It's in the Marvel Stadium, so it's like an actual like soccer stadium, football stadium, rugby stadium, I guess, in Australia. So it should be really, really good. I think it's been there at Marvel Stadium for the last few years because it used to be at a smaller stadium. Yeah. I don't think that's a thing, bro.
Sorry. I'm very tired. It's been a very long day, so I'm just yapping. I'm just excited to see Shane McElrath win. You know? That's really...
Dude, now that talking about Australian Supercross, I really wish I just did what I did for the World Supercross, where I didn't go on socials and I just rewatched the replay and watched it back. Because Shane and Cole Thompson had a battle at round 4 that Shane won by I think 0.5, maybe 0.5 or something. That would have been great to watch and react to. And my dumbass just saw. Yeah, my dumbass just was like, oh, that's sick. I should have reacted to that and not gone on socials and just did it.
Yeah. Next year. That pass was insane because that was from the outside, like, and I don't know, that was a really cool pass. The fitness that showed from Shane, I think like just his strength because he was like pushing the front as he was leaning over was really cool. But yeah, I'm stoked to see him wrap that chip up. He deserves that. I mean, I'm a little biased. I've been working with them, so I'm like, you know, emotionally invested in him and Foggy, the editor now. So to see them win is awesome.
Foggy is incredible, bro. Incredible.
Dude, his freaking videos are so good. It's insane.
Dude, the step up in quality from the outdoor season to now, woo, it's insane.
So he is so good at capturing like the vibe, right? Like whatever we're trying to talk about, if it's an intense, like his ability to use the clips combined with his music choice and stuff, and then you know his word, like the if he'll have Shane talking in the background or whatever, he's really good at that. And they're starting to get really good at thumbnails. And so I feel like as long as they just keep doing what they're doing, that channel should do really, really well. They have to say, and Shane, if you watch this, I've been telling you, you have to say in the video to subscribe. You know, like please win the chip and then look into the camera with your trophy and say subscribe, please.
You should do it. You should do it on the podium. Just be like, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
That's what I'm saying. I've been telling them every time, hey guys, make sure remember to say subscribe, because their views to subscriber count is super skewed. I mean, like, which is common, but I feel like most people watching them, I mean, it's Shane, so people will want to subscribe. They just have TikTok brain and don't.
Yeah. No, like for real, they've been stepping it up. It's so awesome to watch. And yeah, I wish I reacted to that because that would have been epic to watch. I'm not going to cap. That would have been so sick.
Yeah, it's pretty sick pass.
Yeah. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Shane's channel because
absolutely
he's awesome. Foggy's awesome. And yeah, I'm excited to see. I heard a rumor that he's not even on a team yet for Supercross. So I don't know what's happening for that. I don't know any insider information. I don't think necessarily you know any insider information.
I know. I mean, I don't really know anything specific, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I know that
there's like talks and yeah. So
yeah, but
hopefully there's a deal done so Foggy can make some epic content because Supercross season with Foggy and Shane, I think that would be sick.
He'll have a ride.
Yeah, he'll have a ride. I wonder if he'll have to be in 450, right? Because he pointed out in 250. So I'm excited to see 17 rounds of videos. So that's gonna be awesome. But no, overall, Australian Supercross this weekend. We're gonna do a little reaction video. I think it happens at midnight PST. So it's not bad, but I'm not staying up. I'll watch it in the morning. I mean, I'll watch it in the morning, react to it in the morning. But yeah, so that's happening this weekend. World Supercross last weekend. And then we're kind of off for a while, man. This is basically the last sort of Supercross type off-season event, I believe. And we have Arenacross happening on Fridays. I believe the next one is next weekend, I believe. I think that they're off this weekend. And then it's on like consistent basis for every Friday until Supercross-ish. So we have that coming up. But we don't really have any traditional off-season Supercross for like about a month, and then Supercross in January. So no reactions or anything like that. We'll do some videos for like predicting the season coming up in December, predicting 250, 450, how everybody's going to go and stuff like that on my channel. Maybe Doc wants to hop in, maybe do a little prediction with me. I think that'd be pretty sick. So we'll probably post that, and then we'll have another pod out next week. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. And I know this is coming out on Thanksgiving, so I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you guys celebrate. And we'll be back here next weekend with some more talks about MX bikes, IRL, and video games, because that's kind of what we do. So
it's the only thing we do.
And that's basically all.
Not him.
I don't go to the gym. I run. But yeah, so much love, guys. We're out. Peace.